Welcome back to Beers with Buds. I'm your host, Andrew Friedman, the Cannabis Sommelier. Today I'm joined by my really good bud, Russell Hillman. Russell, how are you doing today?
I'm doing super good, man. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Thanks for being here. I'm stoked. I really love chatting with you. I love that we met through music years ago. There's been so many cool things that we get to talk about, and I'm stoked to see where the conversation goes. So why don't you just tell me about yourself, tell me about music, tell me about all of your hustles and who you are today. What makes Russell?
Hey, man. Well, I'm an aspiring DJ and producer. Well, I guess I'm a semi-successful DJ, but aspiring producer. We're working on that. I also run a live stream called The Shark Tank, and hopefully you guys can come check that out one day. I love all the interaction I can have with the community doing live streaming and stuff, so I'm pretty stoked on that aspect of my life right now. And yeah, man, I'm actually really stoked on you in particular right now. I listened to the podcast earlier today with some work friends, and we're all pretty engaged and super stoked on having a good buddy that's doing so well and just killing it out there.
Oh, I'm just trying to make content and share people's stories. So yeah, Shark Tank on Twitch is pretty cool. And you used to do it, the Shark Tank was every Wednesday before? Is it still as regular now?
Yeah, we're on a bit of a hiatus, which is fine. But we used to run every Wednesday night from 7 till midnight with local DJs and producers, whoever we could really find. We were just kind of scrounging up left and right, whoever we could get our hands on, basically. No real genre discrimination or anything like that. We just kind of were like, hey, do you play music? Do you make music? Come hang out. Let's do it.
Do you ever have any problems with with the streaming services and playing tunes?
Oh, absolutely. That's actually one of the largest problems and something that most people ask me about almost immediately when they start their own stream is why did my video get taken down of me DJing and copywriting and you get copy striked so fast on places like YouTube and Facebook, but for some reason Twitch has been a nice little home. If they do find a copyrighted track in your mix, we have archives that go up and you can listen back to the mix, but we don't get taken down during the stream, and then they'll just cut out the track.
Oh, and the stream is never sabotaged?
Yeah, the stream is... Well, you lose the audio, but you can see it, and it's kind of like, oh, well, they got hit there. There's no real way getting around it. I can't find a way to get around getting copy striked in a stream.
You guys just got to write all your own music.
Well, that's the thing.
I got piles of it, bro.
Well, that's the thing is we have had Shark Tanks where we do not get shut down for a second. We get the full 5 hours.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was some of those nights were just incredible too. We were lucky to have some really, really interesting people
jamming. Hey, what got you into DJing?
Well, oddly enough, it was turntablism. Kid Koala, I don't know if you know about Kid Koala. He's a Canadian turntablist, and really, really experimental stuff. You're not really thinking about hip hop turntablism. We're thinking about really kind of out there left field. This guy's making a bass line with one turntable while he's scratching in a weird trumpet solo.
Yeah, he's using it as an instrument.
He's very much an instrumentalist, but I kind of found this guy. I was really into heavy metal, death metal, and hardcore music.
Okay.
Up until kind of, I would say 2009, and then all of a sudden this kind of experimental music hit me, and I all of a sudden was interested in turntables and DJing and the gear, and then an interest in gear all of a sudden turned into an interest in music, and I was into dubstep, and I moved into hip hop, house, and
dubstep, the heavy metal of dance music.
Metal of dance music. Thank God for dubstep though. I gotta be honest, man. As much as I look back and I kind of cringe now, I think about it, I'm like, this is the thing that started me on this path. This is the thing that started me doing stuff that I love. So
yeah. And what do you see it as as a future? Because you got a pretty cool job now working in music, but is DJing the end goal? What do you want to do with it? Do you want to tour the world? Like, after making the content, what's the hope?
DJing is this year I've kind of made it a goal to make it more serious, more of a like I said earlier, aspiring producer. I want to start making my music. I want to start because I've been a purist DJ for the last little while, not really branching out into any kind of producing. But now that I've thought real hard about really what I want to be doing, and this is totally it. And it's the thing that really drives me to get up in the morning and like I just should get some new gear. I should be better. I should buy some tracks. I should do this. And now I'm like, I can make this into something more than just like, oh, I have to make money to fuel my hobby, right? Like I can make, like, even watching you, I don't want to just like talk about you the whole time as an inspiration, but it's true. Like watching you just like get in there and grind every day on Instagram and grind every day on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? I can do that too. I can do it too. Yes. And this is my year. Like, I don't want to be, it's January and I'm saying this is my year, which is like the cheesiest shit you can say.
As long as you start crushing content, it is your year.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I have big plans for Shark Tank this year. I'm going to be doing like a URL launch. That's why I didn't even really bother saying it, but just keep your eye out for the Shark Tank on Twitch. It'll be under music. Hopefully we'll be going up to once a week again, and then potentially doing some cool like little live stream parties and awesome. Little parties here and there. There's a possibility that we'll be doing some guest streaming at a couple clubs.
I want to live stream. I want you to curate music for one of the dinners, and I want to live stream at the dinner.
That would be very easily done. Easily done.
I think we should do it. I think that's super, super cool. And any way we can show people the tunes. So you're writing music now? And honestly, I want to say though, all the lessons. I don't know if anybody knows that I used to be a musician, but all the lessons I learned from how I failed in music is everything I'm applying to the cannabis sommelier.
Yeah. Well, you've talked on this before to me in private, and that's also something really cool that I liked about this whole journey is you kind of just flipped a situation that wasn't going your way on its head and just kind of made it happen, right? Like you made it work so well. You learned lessons and you just made it happen. So
it's all the long game though. It's all about figuring out. I keep quoting my buddy Mario, who is the second episode of the podcast, and he said if you can figure out something you're passionate about and something that adds value for people and combine those two things, as long as you're patient, it'll all work. And I love that. I keep saying it. I love how he said that.
Yeah, as long as you're patient, as long as you work hard, and as long as you're patient. It's not like it sounds like things just happen. Like you in the first episode that I just listened to today on Google Play. You can get it on Google Play. Check that out.
Yeah,
Spotify.
Beers with Buds.
Beers with Buds. Yeah, we'll just plug the podcast right now.
Love it.
On the podcast.
On the podcast.
You guys, podcastception.
We don't have advertising dollars. That's what we got to do. We got time to do this.
You're listening to your average podcast. This is about the time. No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's too early. It's fine.
So what kind of music are you writing now? Like, are you writing music today?
I am writing music currently, yes.
You got tracks finished?
I have no tracks finished. And
man, you got to start a blog. You got to be showing people the struggle of you not finishing tracks.
Exactly. And that I feel like that might be a big portion of me pushing forward to finishing tracks is actually putting the unfinished product out there.
Because you'd be accountable.
And putting pressure on myself to actually finish these things.
It would be dope to be on Twitch every night writing music. Have a schedule of when you write music, and you're literally held accountable to be on your Twitch stream from 5 to 8 every Monday to Friday.
Yeah. See, I actually just set up a buddy doing music production live streaming. Just Enoch Karan show. You can look that guy up. Music by Enoch.
Music by Enoch.
Music
And
by
where's
Enoch.
he doing the
And
live
he'll
streams?
be on Twitch and he'll be on Facebook, and I think he's going to YouTube as well.
But he's good. He's been in the game for a while, right?
Enoch's been in the game for quite a while.
So I want to see you I want to see you like having
that's the
the
appeal.
struggles.
Is maybe just me sucking. And,
Yeah,
and
nobody wants to see
getting
somebody who's
frustrated.
really good.
Maybe
all
I'll
the time.
play up the rage. We'll just make it like a gamer rage, but instead it's like producer rage.
6 months in, 8 months in, when you get to that moment, and you're like, okay, I'm switching out my monitors. I got these old monitors. I got this keyboard. Like, freak out and
throw 'em,
smash it.
yeah.
Rage quit. Like, game over,
Make
and it'll
that,
go
like-
viral.
Make that viral video
That's what I'm
and
saying.
then be like, hey, I was just kidding. Come check out my videos.
Mike Tyson does it best. He was the best boxer ever because he understood that people were paying a fortune to come see a show.
Yeah, that's true. Mike Tyson. That was a good episode of Joe Rogan. I don't know if you caught
Yeah,
that one.
he was interesting. I like that he was smoking weed his whole
Yeah,
life.
that was it was a really interesting to hear from that guy in that perspective. It's really odd.
Yeah.
Really odd.
First time I did LSD, I was like 11. I'm like, oh my god, when I was 11, if I had done LSD, I don't even know what kind of psychopath I would be today.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that kind of childhood would have done.
Hey, well, I see you over there drinking water, but it's beers with buds, so I think I need to crack a beer for us. I have this
yeah.
Dandy Brewing Company. This seems to be a trend because I had one in episode 1 with Mackenzie Puddesy, the traveling psalm, and we had a Baltus von Tassel from Dandy. So I guess I like to share the Dandy brews, and this is the first time you've had Dandy as well, right?
Yeah, this is actually my first time. Are these people from Calgary?
Yeah, the breweries in oh man, how am I forgetting this? Like kind of Ramsey neighborhood.
Oh, Ramsey,
it's just
Inglewood?
outside of Inglewood.
Yeah.
12th Ave. Yeah, nice spot, nice tap room, pretty good food. Some friends started a brewery, and I appreciate that. So we got the Dandy in the Underworld Stout, nice stout. Looks like a nice rich head. Lacings all right on the head. That makes absolutely no sense if you're not a beer nerd and you're just listening for the
Tell me exactly what you said there in English though, because I was actually going to ask you this. Like,
the
I was
foam,
thinking,
the way that the foam's lacing together.
Okay, so the
in
foam
layer.
laces.
Yeah, but all foams lace and layer differently. Like, even I poured yours kind of poorly, and it looks flat, and mine looks like a delicious beer.
That's okay.
I feel bad. I feel like I should trade you, but I'm gonna.
If you guys could see it, it just looks like a glass of Coca-Cola that's flat.
Flat Coke, and mine looks like a frothy, delicious, like.
Yeah, yours looks very good. There's like.
Hold on, let me try and top you up and get a real
let's
splash
see
in
if
there.
we can.
No, that did absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
Cheers.
it just looks. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got
a little more.
We got some
cola.
bubbles. We got
Cheers.
some bubbles. Hey, cheers! Thanks for being here.
Hey, man.
So why don't you tell me? Do you want to tell me what you think about the beer? Or should I just tell everybody what I think about the
You
beer?
know what? How about I do a tasting note and you tell me?
No, I don't want to tell you if you're wrong or right.
No. I want you to tell me how accurate
Okay.
I would be to you.
Okay. Yeah.
That
Okay.
This isn't about like
If I was
being
your
wrong.
teacher.
If let's just say that I'm secretly a beer nerd. Like,
Yeah, okay.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's just clear that up right now. But like, let's say I'm secretly a beer nerd. I'm gonna give you my tasting note.
Okay,
and
nail
then
it.
We'll see what happens.
I love it. Smell it first. It's okay. Now
That's not how I do my tasting note, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh, what is? Yeah. What does it smell like?
Okay. I smell. It smells kind of like a rum. It's like a rummy flavor. I smell kind of that kind of oaky rum, and then I'm gonna say, You know what's way lighter than I thought it was gonna be?
Good.
It's so dark. Like I said, it looked like a Coca-Cola,
It's got a nice light
but
stout.
it's really nice. It's
It's
like
an oyster
really nice
stout.
and light. Like it's refreshing.
Okay. What does it taste like though?
I can't put my finger on it right now. It's sweet. Like I said, I really do kind of. I want to go through with that like rum flavor, that like oaky, smoky.
Okay. I wouldn't say it tastes
flavor.
like oak at all. Mm-hmm. But it's hard.
I don't know
because
what oak tastes like.
I
so
know people say the word oak often, but I think it tastes like cocoa and almond and coffee, and I think it does taste like flat Coca-Cola.
A little bit. It's got a little bit of that sweetness to it.
I think not oak, but maybe the baking spice that's in oak. It has that kind of vanilla, nutmeggy. It's very familiar on a. It's interesting because it's such a dark beer with such a light body, but it seems so familiar on a cold day. It's the best way I can describe the taste and smell. The smell has a lot more almond on it than the palate does. Almond and hazelnut.
Yeah, I smell almond now that you say it, but that's like just because you said it, probably.
It could be, or, but that's what I'm here for, right? That's why I have a job, so I can just tell people what I think.
Yeah, exactly. And, you're professional, so people have to listen.
That's a hard idea. I often tell people and remind them not to listen to me too much because my opinion's just one opinion. And
that's probably true, right? Like, everyone smells differently.
Everybody has different memories because we can only taste salty, sweet, sour, bitter, umami, but we can smell memories, right? And so when taste and smell combine, that's what creates flavor. In that moment, every single person's memory of smell is completely different. So my memory of even the smell of trees or a certain area. Like I remember the smell of Heritage Park, which is a pioneer village in Calgary, very specifically, but it's one specific part when you're walking on the wood on a hot summer day, and that to me just resonates, but nobody else would have that memory.
Yeah, 100%. I could see that.
So that's why I kind of want to write descriptively. I'm super excited for this new writing project that I'm doing. I'm going to be working with Kind Selections and writing tasting notes about all the medicine or the cannabis that's growing there, and we're going to basically compile it into a blog and then maybe a book. But I'm going to, because I keep talking about micro vintages, basically like inside a year of growing, you can get 2, 3, 4 crops in cannabis, and we're going to see what was better. Was it soil? Was it living bed? Was it here? Was it there? Was it this time of year? Was it in this place? I'm very, very excited.
So you're doing a bunch of research, like you're heading into some research territory there, basically.
Totally, yeah. It is research. It's deep research.
Yeah,
and it's going to be great data for me because it'll really again make me the expert. I saw one cannabis reviewer on Instagram, just somebody who followed me, and they were like, "I've tasted over 60 strains." And I was like, what? How can you call yourself a cannabis reviewer if you've only tasted 60 strains? That's like me saying I'm a wine reviewer and I've tasted 60 bottles of wine. Like that's mental. That's mental. I'm a beer reviewer and I've tasted 60 beers. I was like, strains? I feel like I've probably had 1,500, 1,600 different strains.
Well, yeah, you got to try them all. Like
all of them. And this next year, I'm going to get at least, 150 different ones, maybe 300 from one person.
See, like you're like very far in your Pokemon journey. You've almost caught them all. Like you're getting close to master.
I love that. Yeah, totally. Because it's going to be this point where there's going to be so much, and I'm going to be. I don't like what I really hope for. I don't want to be the authority, but I'd really like to be the authority, if that makes sense. I'd love to be the Robert Parker or James Suckling of cannabis, but that's somebody's got to be the guy, and I figure might as well be a cannabis guy instead of a suit.
Hey man, there's no problem with just wanting to be the best at what you do too. Like I just love that. Like it's sick. Like there's something about just doing something really well that just feels good, you know what I mean? And like being successful when you do it.
It's a hard thing. I think there's a lot more failures than successes. I feel like Instagram's kind of for like flexing and complaining, and I wish I showed more of my failures. I wish there was more failures. Like sometimes it's not as easy as it seems. I send a lot of emails with no replies.
Yeah, 100%. Well, like you're just kind of like you're just keeping on, which is all you really can do. You got to patience, like you said earlier.
The long game with music, especially.
You got to give it out.
It's about creating content, right? Mm-hmm. If I could suggest one thing this year, it would be write a song every single day.
If I can make that happen, if I can get my skill set up to if I can get my skill set to that point, then I'll do it.
Yeah. What does it take to get to that point?
I think it's just practice at this point. And
10,000
then
hours.
It's like just do it every day, right? Like just,
Totally.
you know, like do everything over and over and over and over again. Like, you know, it's the same as like playing video games or anything.
Yeah, no, music is a video game. That's how I always thought about it, to be honest with you. As we stare at the Logic Pro 10 screen that we're recording on, every time I figured out a new trick or a new technique or a new screen, it felt like a level up.
Oh yeah.
And then once you put 10,000 hours into anything, you become a professional at it, and that's not an easy feat. But 10,000 hours can be achieved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty quickly if you really set your mind to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, music is definitely an interesting one, and it's one that, well, we were just jamming. You know, you're part of Hershey Moigel and the Bad Jews. Nobody on the podcast knows about Hershey Moigel and the Bad Jews, so I'm going to give them the rundown. I have a jam band in my house. Again, me and Russell met through music years ago. And so with the jam band, it's called Hershey Moigel and the Bad Jews, and I'm Hershey Moigel, and everybody that comes and plays in the band is a bad Jew. But at heart, we're all bad Jews, so everybody in the crowd is also a bad Jew, and every one of you at home listening is a bad Jew as well, because you know,
this wonderful inclusive
group. We're all just BJs.
Family. We're just families.
We're all just bad Jews. Religion tears everything down. I just want to be me. I'm just a normal guy with a Jew fro.
Yep. I don't have a Jew fro, but
but you're a BJ.
Yeah, I am a bad Jew.
Yeah, so it's wicked, and the band is great. We were playing some funk, we were playing some metal and some rock and roll, and that was great. What kind of music do you think you want to make? Like, did I ask you this before?
Oh yeah, I think we were trying to get to that, but we didn't get there. I am a huge fan currently of just electronic music in almost all its shapes and forms. It's very wide, and also recently I've been going back to my roots on metal and stuff, and I think I might kind of
fuse those two, bro.
Fuse something like that, or maybe even just produce a little like metal EP by myself. Just, you know, do everything by myself.
Being a metal musician is almost harder than being a dance musician. Like, people don't understand how saturated that market is. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Because all those guys are gung-ho to fucking make it.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like everyone in metal is so serious, and like that's like, well, not everyone. I wouldn't say everyone. Like, you know, you go to a Children of Bodom concert and they might play, you know, Toxic by Britney Spears, or like Oops, I Did It Again, or something hilarious like that. Like, those guys have humor, but like, you got to be a serious musician to play metal.
Yeah, they're very good musicians.
And you have
people
to
don't
like
understand.
Push yourself too, and this is part of, you know.
Yeah, faster and louder, and metal drumming is intense, metal guitar is intense. It's like everybody's going as fast as they can and trying to play in harmony with a ton of distortion. And if you're not like super musical or angry, metal makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's I feel like that's one of those genres that if you don't really sit there and listen to the technicality of it, like, and I'm talking, I don't know, it's
too brash to listen to the technicality a lot of the time, though, because it's just not appealing to some.
Well, some people can't even.
There's a lot of bad metal.
Oh yeah, but
like,
there's a lot of bad music. Like, this is a this is a whole other conversation in and of itself. But
yeah,
you know,
there is a lot of bad music.
Tough.
I feel like, though, metal, because it's not a mainstream thing and you have to explore it on your own, you end up pulling up a lot more turds than you do great ones. You know, you start with like Pearl Jam and Dio and Iron Maiden and, you know, all the classics, and then you're like, okay, maybe I'll dive into like black metal or some Norwegian death metal, and you're like, wow, how am I finding all these stinkers? And it's just like,
there's definitely some bad stuff, like real bad stuff.
I love harmonies. I love it when metal breaks down. It's like really fast, and
then they like slow down or like go halftime or something. Oh,
yeah, and they just shred so hard.
Just rip.
Through the fire and the flames we carry on.
Is that Dragon Force? That's amazing.
Yeah, Dragon Force was lit.
You know, I don't even care that they didn't play that song for real. I don't even
really?
Care. They didn't? I heard they sped it up we should get someone to look this up, because I don't know if this is completely
I got Google in my
true.
pocket. You keep talking and
let's
I'll Google
this up. But what I heard is that the guitarist from Dragon Force can't actually play Through the Fire and Flames at the speed that it is recorded.
No way.
I'm sure that he can now, because people found out about it and he's found a way to do it, or they've slowed the song for live performances. But I'm not sure. I'm truly I'm in the, something I heard, something I read, could be true, could not be true.
Inhuman Rampage, and features rapid twin guitar solos by Herman Lai and Sam Totman.
Oh man.
No, I think it's good.
Is it legit?
Oh, hold on. Ultimate Guitar, The Truth About Through the Fire and Flames.
Oh.
Okay.
Let's see.
It's proven that it's actually impossible to play that song.
Okay.
Played it very slow and sped it up with a computer program. How many of you were aware of this? This is just in some dicey form.
Oh,
though.
it's just in like a forum. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it's untrue. Don't, hit us in the comments and like tear me to shreds if you know that I'm wrong, but
yeah,
that's just what I heard.
Well, let's peep the dude. They got a video, right?
Oh, damn. You're gonna get copyright striked for this.
Oh, you're right. I am.
Take it down.
That's the moment I get copyright strike. You're right.
I'm pretty sure you can play the intro, but that's the song we're talking about. It's just look it up, Through the Fire and Flames by Dragon Force. It does not appear to be able to be played by a human being with two hands.
This is why I play all my own music always. People don't know this, but a lot of the music in my videos I wrote.
Well, yeah. Like you're a musical guy, why not, right?
I know, but nobody ever knows. Nobody's ever asked. Sometimes I get some YouTube trolls that like shit all over the tunes. The worst song I've ever heard in a YouTube video, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you haven't heard the other bad music I've made.
There's so much of this, you wouldn't believe it. That's how I feel. I'm like, oh my god, like if I put some music, maybe I'll make music for you.
This is what I ask people all the time. I'm like, I don't know why my producer buddies, I asked a few of them, I was like, hey, can you make me some tunes and I'll just play your music in the background of my videos?
Yeah.
And sans music. So if you guys are listening, I would love you to send me some royalty-free music and I want to feature it in my videos.
Yeah, send us some music that won't get us copy-striked.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like
don't sample Dragon Force.
Well, yeah, can't be Dragon Force.
Oh, well, you can play the intro apparently, so you can get like.
Yeah, you could get a bit of it, a little bit.
Just a corner.
Just a tease.
Yeah, just a taste. Just a taste.
The corner of the cracker.
So, DJing, like, have you opened for some big people? I think I remember you doing some big people. Are you doing small shows?
I'm kind of like in a different realm than I was. But yeah, I have opened for some pretty cool
Because when we first met, you were working with Blueprint, right?
Yeah, well, I was working with Aqua, which was
Audio.
absorbed by Blueprint, I believe. Which is they're a promotion company out of I believe Vancouver, and they're also based in Calgary and Edmonton. Let's just promote big electronic shows and stuff. But yeah, we met through a smaller division that was
the Lux.
Well, yeah, Lux, and then Aqua as well.
Yeah, I think it was totally Aqua Audio shows. I'm sure I have some old videos of me going to like raves when I was
the raves
young. Yeah, I think I met you right when I first turned 18, going out and partying and
18, 19, yeah, for sure.
Listening to freaking real hard progressive house and
real hard progressive house and screechy dubstep and Skrillex.
The dubstep I only went to because some chicks liked it. I never liked dubstep.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like
it's odd.
Some of it's
great.
Yeah, when it's more like real dubby.
Yeah, when it's actual dubstep.
Yeah,
don't flame me in the comments for that.
Yeah, no, like the serious UK dub, like the Lolos
we like the Lolos. We like the Truth. We like we like those New Zealand boys. We like the UK boys.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like the
the screechy. Yeah, like laser beams.
Yeah, but I like the.
Yeah, I like that stuff that just kind of shakes the room and makes you scared a little.
Yeah, I always remember this one track, Ed Solo, Age of Dub. That was like, I think that's still probably, I don't even know if it's a dubstep track. You know the song?
It's a good one. I know it, yeah.
That's a good track. I feel it.
There's some good music that was released around that time too. That's some good stuff.
Yeah, you just got to dig for it. This is what people don't, like, new music isn't always good music.
No.
Who's on that note? Who's your favorite new band? Actually, tell people what you do for a day job, because that's a super cool job.
So I'm a backline technician. It's kind of a weird job. But basically, bands and artists come into town, and their promoter or tour manager or whoever will call the office that I work in, and we'll basically rent them.
Can we plug them? Who are they?
Well, yeah, we can plug KLM. That's KLM Backline. You can check out KLM Music and KLM Backline if you so desire. We've got some Instagram pages if you want to check it out. We rent a new and vintage gear,
awesome.
Musical gear. So it's like, we have like Rhodes. We have a couple B3 organs.
Cool, with the Hammond speakers.
Yeah, we've got the Leslie speakers.
Or the Leslie speakers, the Hammond B3 with the Leslie speakers.
The Leslie speaker. Those are the one of the most powerful instruments you'll ever stand next to.
Can I come play one day? Because that's a dream of mine.
Honestly, it's kind of neat. Like I can't plug them super hard because I can't like let everyone know what exactly we've got in the shop. But
right, yeah, no, but that's just to know that you have the Hammond B3 with the Leslie speakers. And for everybody that doesn't know, like this is like the dream organ.
This is a powerful instrument
because the combination, the Leslie speaker was the first Roto Vox speaker, whatever it has a spinning horn inside of the box.
Yeah, so there's literally a rotating speaker inside of this box. So you get the Leslie. It's a giant box.
Weighs a ton.
It weighs so much. It's the worst. Like it's the worst thing ever. It's so heavy. But when you actually set that thing down, it just starts like you start it up literally like a tractor. Like you hold a switch. Yes. And then you hold another switch and it's like and you can hear this thing like humming behind you and you're like, my God, what is happening? So you start the thing up and then this speaker literally inside starts just like slowly spinning around, just like and that's how you get that cool like organ warble. Like I wish we had an organ sound right here right now, but it's like that thing that gives the organ that like it's so interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna make. I'll try and add in an organ sound after.
Well, like I think what I did was pretty good. Yeah. I think they got the idea. Like, just go listen to like an organ, and like when you hear that like kind of warbly sound, if you know what I'm saying.
I think people kind of know what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's how you get it. Like, but hearing it, okay, this is the cool thing about a Hammond. Or a Leslie speaker in general, is it doesn't sound nearly as interesting through like a speaker or something like that. When you hear in person. The thing in person, it's just like this spinning monstrosity. Yeah.
The warble.
You're like wah 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 wah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is bomb. Sample this.
Lit.
Send me this. I'm sampling.
Yeah, number 70 Hammy B3 organ with 2 Leslies on YouTube.
That's tight.
Yeah, that warble though.
That's hot.
I'm sure people could have heard that there. It's incredible.
It's this really interesting thing that happens because the speaker is physically moving.
Yeah. Who's the madman that's like, yeah, this is gonna sound hot?
And he was right though.
Yeah, but they didn't make very many of them. That's why it's the hardest part to find is the Leslie speaker. The B3 is pretty easy to hunt down. The speaker is the hard part.
Yeah, but the B3 is becoming increasingly hard to find. That's the thing, is like as the years go by, some of them get destroyed, they get dropped, things like this happen, floods happen. I feel like now they're just kind of jumping up in value, which is so cool. I love that like old instruments are just kind of so wicked like that.
They're cool.
They're just so like and valuable, and like when you're there hearing them, you understand why they're legendary. Like, that's the thing. It's like, no, most people are like, oh yeah, you know, I have a Rhodes piano sound on my keyboard, you know?
Not the same.
It's not the same. When you hear it, because it's a physical instrument, like, you are striking.
It resonates.
Yeah, it resonates in a certain way. It just sounds incredible. Like, some of these instruments just sound absolutely incredible.
Everything has a certain energy too. Like, everything in the universe has a certain energy, and just being in the presence of great instruments like that I feel like project great energy makes you want to be a great musician for them.
100%. 100%. Like, that's the thing, is like, you're almost afraid to touch an instrument that holds so much incredible, you know, talent and power. Like, so many people have made these things famous. Like, I don't even, sometimes I even get just scared to play guitar. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, oh man, like, I'm not doing this instrument justice. But, you know, everyone's gotta keep
keeping
practicing. You gotta keep practicing, and you gotta keep going so you can get as good as your idols and stuff. But
totally. And it's interesting, like, I only started playing guitar, well, I guess it's almost 2 years ago now, which is pretty cool. But I had always wanted to play guitar, and I got to a point where I was like really happy with how much guitar I had learned. But the last year has almost been practicing the exact same things, but mastering the stuff that made me happy at the point I had gotten to. But it's cool, like, jamming with different people and hearing how different, like, everybody's style is, or interpretation of even just a simple 4 on the floor beat, hearing what somebody comes up with in their head that can play a guitar is so unique. Obviously it's unique, but I don't even know what else to say to that. Let's have a dab, because that's what I'm waiting for. You got the Puffco Peak in front of you, and then we'll talk about...
I have a Puffco Peak. Thank you.
You're welcome. I loaded up 2 fat dabs, and Melissa just put the carb cap on.
Oh, yeah.
Double tap.
1, 2.
Oh, no, you didn't do it fast enough. Now you got to press slowly. Press 1 time. Press 1 more time. Now double tap quick. There you go. You're on it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's do a bass cheers.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers to the beers and
okay,
everybody who loves them.
While we're waiting for these things to heat up and buzz and let us know what's up, what would you say about these? What's your honest opinion of the Puffco Peak?
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Because I've had a couple Puffco pens that I've really enjoyed. And
yours did heat up.
Mine didn't heat up. Okay, double tap
it again.
There we go. We're good. Because it's such a sleek looking.
Oh no! Look, it's having a malfunction.
It's having a malfunction. That's okay. We'll make it.
It's not okay. They're expensive.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to have a malfunction. Killing me here, Puffco. I've talked so well about your product that it's literally malfunctioning.
He gave it a 9 out of 10 and it malfunctioned. This is how it's gonna go down. Watch it; it'll work when it's in his hand. It was just me. I wasn't pressing the button.
No, it did the light flash thing. See? Oh, it's dancing. This is a problem.
Uh-oh.
This is a problem. This means I believe this is the atomizer connection issue problem. But I don't know how to move it if I can't heat it up. I cleaned them both very recently. And it's interesting that it's... Oh, man. It's funny when stuff breaks.
Right as you start to talk about it, right? Or like you give it like a good review. It's really funny. I did this one time. This is a funny story while we're waiting for this thing to get rectified. I one time bought an OtterBox, and you know those like really sick phone cases, OtterBox, right? When they first came out, I was like, yeah, this is dope. I have an OtterBox. My phone is indestructible. So I go to work, and I work at a construction site at the time. And I kind of like show the boys at work. I'm like, hey, look at this. I have the OtterBox. And they're like, oh, sick. Does that mean your phone's indestructible now? And I'm like, oh, yeah, totally, man. Like, this thing will protect it from like a train. Like,
this is the revolution,
This is the revolutionary phone case. Like, this thing's going to protect my phone from anything a construction site can throw at me. And then, of course, my buddy goes, can it survive a 10-foot ladder fall?
Oh.
And so I go, oh, hell yeah. So I jump up on top of a 10-foot ladder. And instead of just dropping the phone.
You chucked it a
like
little.
like an idiot. Yeah, I chucked it a little. I threw it down. I spiked it a little bit. You know,
Gotta
I was
prove
like,
it to the boys.
Oh, yeah, like check this out. And I was lucky because it wasn't the screen that broke. But yes, of course, the whole back of the iPhone 4 that was in there just shattered, and I had to go get the whole back replaced, which isn't as expensive as the front. Which
We're gonna have to
is
share
nice.
because this is it's actually straight up broken.
Oh my god,
I know, doesn't that suck?
that sucks. Well,
had
at least you
to.
got two.
I know, but I was gonna use them for the dinner on Saturday.
Ah,
I know.
call up Puffco. Be like, yo, I got a dinner. Help me out, fam.
Famalam. I wonder if there's just like oil or something in
Could
the
be.
thing. But it doesn't make sense. Why would it just stop working? This is what lots of
It
people have
was
complained.
working earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, I hit this earlier.
Well, I don't want to like go super deep into this, but I got the Puffco Plus pen
Okay.
with like the little nail, the first one,
Yeah.
like the Puffco Plus 1, and it just kind of like did this thing where like the same thing, kind of atomizer wouldn't connect properly, and it would just error, and you just like, you know, you loaded up your pen with everything, and now you're kind of like sitting there like, do I scoop it out of there? Like, what do I do?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to change the cup. on this. Like I wanna unscrew it and see.
But it's all sticky.
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah,
A man.
we
Dan.
done did it.
It's there.
We're good, fam.
I think it might have taken the Lift and Co. beating.
Oh,
I was in
okay.
Vancouver session.
Session super hard with all the people.
Yeah, giving it away to the boys.
So like, okay, here's a question for you.
Oh yeah, it's just got way too much oil on the thread.
How much traveling did you do in 2018 for the Cannabis Sommelier?
I think I took 8 trips.
8 trips? That's significant, dude.
It was way more than I expected.
Like, no doubt. Like,
Way more than I expected.
And where did you go, and what was your favorite spot to hang out in?
To be super honest with you, Chicago was really awesome.
Yeah.
Los Angeles was really awesome. I love Vancouver. Everywhere I went was cool because everywhere there had such a unique and interesting cannabis culture. And all of them were different, exciting, and just so neat to be a part of, like, these new and emerging worlds and just seeing all these different markets. Yeah, like Los Angeles was so high-end focused, and the parties were in the hills of Bel Air, and I was there 2 times, once in June and once again in October. And it was like celebrities and influencers, and that was really cool. And then Chicago, it's like, it was much more of like a cannabis mission, and because it's medicinal there, it's not completely legalized, so it's a different atmosphere, but still is accepting. Yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, it's interesting that Calgary, my home base, has the least draw for what I do.
Yeah, it does seem kind of funny in that respect. It kind of feels like we're just figuring it out as far as cannabis legalization goes here in Calgary.
I think we are just totally figuring it out, but I hope that things will change. Like, it's so restrictive to do what I do.
100%.
Man, like, yeah, it's a hard roll of the dice throwing just some events, and it's still like, you know, a tightrope.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, but 2019 is gonna be crazy. Like, I'm gonna be traveling at least once a month doing dinners.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna
Oh
be
my
so
goodness.
sick. I'm so stoked to work with like all these amazing chefs. I can't wait to be back in Los Angeles. That's where I think things are really popping.
Yeah.
Especially for like what I do. You know, they have such a fine dining culture already, and there's lots of money.
Yeah.
Not to say it like that, but people are more
They're more
in tune
likely to come out and actually spend their money on food. And
yeah,
drink.
food and drink and cannabis.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just selling a fine intoxicant, just like anything else. I just want to sell you the best and curate it the best for your experience.
Yeah.
There's new cannabis consumption licenses in West Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
so you can have like an infused restaurant.
Oh, interesting. That's really neat.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Well, like, that's the end goal, right? Like, you want to be able to go in for a dinner and,
Get lit.
then you don't have to get too lit after. You just kind of walk out and you're feeling good. Don't have to go out and roll a doobie after dinner.
Right. I like the idea that you should also be able to choose, like, at your dinner. You can go with somebody. If they want an infused, they can have an infused dinner. If you don't want an infused dinner, you don't have to have an infused dinner.
Yeah, no doubt.
I love that.
You can just opt out.
Opt out. Bail out.
It's as easy as, like, being vegetarian or vegan these days, right? Like, you can just kind of come in and say, hey, I don't want to be high after my meal.
Don't get me stoned with my meal.
Don't get me really, really baked.
Please.
During my meal, please. Just, I don't want to be any fun at all. I'm just kidding. Everyone who doesn't partake, you're all wonderful, and we all have reasons.
Well, people are listening to this show because they're probably cannabis consumers.
Well, we should hope, but
I really just hope that anybody and everybody is listening, just because I think I have conversations with really interesting people that are a little bit fueled by cannabis and alcohol.
Yeah, one more than the other for this guy. Not alcohol.
Hey, you having a beer with me?
I love beer. I do. I love beer.
Yeah, this is.
I just don't like it to
It's not going to do the rainbow flash.
It's not going to do it.
I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work this time. Baby. Sorry, Puffco.
I'm feeling it.
Everybody who listened to that and it's like, Puffco, sucks in the comments. It's my atomizer's pretty dirty. Like, I should clean it.
One of them's working just fine.
Yeah, one of them's working good. It's interesting though because all of them hit differently. But I can't wait till there's like a V2, because I have a PAX vape that I'm excited to try, and it's hooked up with Bluetooth, so that's pretty cool. He's having a dab of mimosa. It's rosin, mechanically separated. I've given a few people the dab this mimosa. It's there's a huge dab in there, so you don't have to finish that whole thing. You can pass it back. I'm like looking at him like, you pass it back.
That's delicious. I will say that's very, very tasty.
You didn't even cough.
No.
It's impressive. We smoked a big joint of wedding cake before this from Gastown.
That was really nice. That was really, really nice. I won't lie.
What do you think of the Puffco?
I really like it. I like how small it is. I like how versatile it looks. Like, it just kind of looks like it works everywhere. Like, you can throw it in a backpack and just roll with it and go. And the backpack or the case has got storage and stuff for everything you'd need. Like, it's kind of an all-in-one package.
It's pretty sweet.
I like a good wax pen, or
you like a good package.
I like a good pen, but there's something like that. There's something like that that's just wonderful.
I'm excited for it to be smaller. To be honest, I know it's smaller than most people expect.
Yeah,
but I'm excited for it to be smaller.
That was the big thing when you put it in my hand the first time. I was like, "What? It's so tiny. It feels small, but if we can get it smaller, oh hell yeah, why not?"
Yeah, I think I would like it 2/3 this size. And I would like it if this wasn't, where the bowl wasn't so out. I don't know if that'll ever change, but...
Mm-hmm. They kind of stick to their designs, as we saw. They just change certain things.
I don't think it needs to be circular. I think it could be square or, like, angled with the chamber. And I think the whole inside of the bowl could be concave. And I think they could probably make more money, everybody, Puffco, if you guys are listening, by creating a proprietary inside shape.
Yeah, probably. So it's not so easy to
rip off, because everybody started making the inserts.
Yeah.
They sell the ceramic one.
Yeah.
It amazes me they don't have a quartz one yet.
Oh, that's kind of weird, hey?
People are making ruby ones. $500.
What?
Yeah,
why? It's just like bougie.
Retains the heat extremely well.
Oh, really? So there's a reason.
Yeah, it works much better than quartz. Apparently. I haven't hit the ruby yet. I'm not that baller. but I do know one person who has hit the Ruby and spoke very highly of it.
That's interesting. So just like sustained heat for longer.
Yeah, originally he used it in a banger, like with a torch or whatever, or not whatever, with a torch, and he said he could take like 3 or 4 dabs off one heat up, and they were all the right temperature.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah, how does that even make sense?
That's really wild, actually.
I know, but you think about how precious of a gem it is.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
$500. Is it like just a banger that you can just?
Yeah, it's like the
source?
cup that you would put in the inside here.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
you put it in your banger.
That is absolutely insane.
Ruby.
See, that's the other cool thing. That's another reason why I like the Peak, though. Like, you know, that's another cool thing about it.
Well, that's for everything. It just fancies to fit in there.
It's so cool. Like, you can customize it. I love the work that people have been doing with like the customization, like the colored glass and all the inserts that you can put in it and stuff. It's really kind of it's got like a fan base almost.
Ryan Fitt does
like-
the best ones for sure.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Who's that? He's just like
him
a
and
glass
Gabe
blower?
Halliday. Yeah, did these things called Koozles for a long time, and they're in
Sweet.
the same shape as the top. And just amazing glass workers and cold carvers.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they kill it. I'll show you some of the pieces, but it's just fantastic stuff. I'm and what played in their advantage the best was the fact that their shape already looked the same. Sorry, now I'm trying to look up stuff on Instagram and I'm forgetting what I'm saying. What a terrible host I am.
But honestly, though, if you haven't seen a Puffco Peak before, if you're listening to this and you've never seen one and you're just kind of like new to this, hopefully you've seen one. Just look it
There's
up
a
on
review
Instagram.
on my channel.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but you see his shaping was already... So he does it really cool, and they put like copper in it, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, if you're listening and you have your phone on you and you have Instagram, just look up Ryan Fitt. That's RyanFitt, and just look at the glass he's blown for this.
Yeah, they're super cool. Even the guy who
Wow.
who owns Puffco loves Ryan Fitt, but I knew he was the fit for the type of work. Like, it's just great.
Just wild, eh?
Just great. Yeah, my buddy, Young Steve. You remember Young Steve? He's got one of these Koozles. His has like a Mario scene on it. It's really, really cool.
Oh, that's super sick.
Way smaller than you think. It's like literally this piece.
Really?
It's incredible.
Wow.
It's incredible. I love that expensive collector glass. Such a weird 1% world. I often forget that I have such a awesome advantage to get all these amazing strains, and not everybody is as lives in this weird bubble where you gotta smoke out of expensive things. So the Puffco's an expensive unit. If you don't dab every day, probably wouldn't purchase one.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that being a thing. Because
Like
what does it cost Canadian?
I think they're $500 or something.
$500 Canadian.
But I would take it on the road with me more, like at home, just for the sake of the show is why we were using them. But I like to use the torch still and a banger. I don't think anything will replace that, but the Puffco is really good on the go. I still do get a nice hit from it. It's not
And it's quick, right? Like and it looks easy to clean.
No, it's terribly hard to clean.
Oh, really?
I would say
thought
that's
it'd be
the
easy.
hands down biggest knock on the unit
Yeah.
is how hard it is to clean. The glass is easy to clean, but look, the atomizer stopped working because it's all goopy down here. And like, how does that? I don't really understand how it all gets down there. And the threading on this is all covered. And I cleaned this like a week ago. I don't even know. People must have been putting too big of dabs in it when I was.
Yeah, it's probably boiling over the top. It looks like it's come down the sides, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably boiling over the top of the.
Too
of
big
the
of dabs.
chamber.
Might be a user error on this one.
Well,
I'm not admitting it, but I'm just saying.
But it'd be nice if it was sealed a little better, right? So it wouldn't.
Totally.
But can't stop it.
Can't knock the hustle. Can't wait till it's NFC charging.
Oh, that'd be sick. Just put it down
Right. Super sick.
next to your desk or something.
Super sick.
That'd be a really cool gaming rig accessory. Put
Right.
like an RGB.
So you hold on, I want to ask
Pad
about
under
that.
it.
You like to game, right? Like
Yeah, I'm a big gamer.
didn't you go to that Smash Bros tournament in Sweden or Switzerland? Or
Yeah,
something?
I ended up going to DreamHack in Sweden and checked out some stuff, man. It was a wild time.
Did you play? Did you
I
compete?
did play. I competed and I got knocked out extremely early. It is an extremely the Swedes take it so seriously, man.
Was it Swedish dudes you were playing against?
Mostly, yeah.
I went on a plane when I was
Mostly.
on my way to Chicago. There was obviously a game convention or something when
Yeah.
I was in Chicago because I
Yeah.
was sitting in the airport on my layover in Seattle, and it was like Revenge of the Nerds
Yeah.
around me. And you know, I'm not a whatever. I'm a nerd too. Like, man, these guys were like mega nerds all around me, like flexing all the stuff, like, and just like, you know, you couldn't have picked better caricatures of what mega nerds were than these guys. And I wish I knew what the conference going on was. But were the Swedes like this? Were people flying in from all, like, were you the only international guy you met, or was it like a huge deal?
People were kind of surprised to hear that we were from Canada.
They were
they
liking
weren't that surprised. Like, I think it's a big enough event. Like, if you kind of just go and
Did you smoke weed there?
we didn't actually. That's a funny story. This may be a funny story. They were kind of like really like, whoa. Because like
You don't want to smoke weed.
No, we were sitting. We were
that how
sitting in
Swedish
a.
people
No,
talk?
no, it was not like that
Sorry,
at all.
okay.
It's. I kind of wish they did, but like, yeah.
Anyways, keep
no.
going. Tell me about the weed.
Okay, so yeah, we were actually just hanging out in like a hair salon. My buddy was getting his haircut. Of all things to do when you go.
Terrible timing.
Yeah, like I'm like, why didn't you get it cut before? Anyway, regardless, this is where we had this conversation. We were talking about smoking weed. And there was a British girl in the seat next to my buddy.
Good looking.
Yeah, of course. She was
Did you go to a hair salon? You didn't go to a barber
He went
shop?
to a hair salon.
Who is your buddy? Okay, anyways, when you're listening, like, dude.
Anyway, yeah. So we're in this hair, and I'm sitting like on the chair behind, just kind of like adding to the conversation, not really paying attention.
Yeah.
But like they're talking about weed. And the girl next to him is like, yeah, like, I don't know. I haven't found weed here in Sweden at all. And the two hairstylists just like look at each other like literally horrified. Like I'm like, I don't know if we just walked into like.
How old are these women?
They're all around like 20 to 30. Like,
Oh, they're
under
not
40. Everyone was under 40. That's
okay.
why we were even having this conversation.
Okay.
Right? But like. And I kind of pipe up. I'm like, yeah, we smoke weed, and everyone kind of laughs. I'm like, of course, you're Canadian, and we were just like, but like literally, like, why? What's the big deal? And like, Swedish chicks were like, you don't smoke weed, like you don't smoke weed here. And I was like, is it like that? Like, is it illegal? Like, I don't even
Yeah,
know.
what's
I
going on?
didn't even get the full story. Like, it was just so weird. We ended up kind of like just stopping the conversation right there. I'd love to know what Sweden's like legalization status is. That it's super interesting. Like, it was just a weird encounter. Like, we didn't really like go out looking for
I'm surprised
for
that
weed.
people
We were
weren't
playing video
blazing it
games,
in
but-
the Super Smash
oh my
tourney, though.
god, like it was just the hugest LAN party. There was just like literally like walls of computers, like just
Marijuana laws in Sweden are some of the harshest in Europe.
yeah. I was gonna say
The country outright bans any and all possession, sale, transport, cultivation of
Look at
cannabis,
that.
including medical marijuana.
Isn't that weird? Doesn't that
Weed
seem
is very
interesting?
uncommon in Sweden, so you'll even have a hard time finding it as a consumer unless you
Yeah,
know someone who grows it.
so like this is legit because like it was the weirdest experience.
Not
like,
going
that
to
is
Sweden anytime soon.
But like that's weird.
That's weird.
That's really weird.
You'd think as the world becomes more progressive, like Sweden wouldn't be one
Yeah,
of the
like-
places that's like.
And that was like one of the more progressive places I've ever been in my life. Like I kind of laugh because I'm like, people drive Teslas, but like where do you charge them? Like where, like there's nowhere to charge them.
Only at home.
in Calgary. Like I know there's a couple parking garages downtown for like, you know, rich execs, but like where, if I were to buy a Tesla right now,
You got to get the battery at home.
well that's the thing is like I'd have to drive home
You only get
to charge
330
it.
kilometers.
Yeah. Where do I charge it? Like here to
You got to plan
Edmonton.
it. You got to plan it. There's stations.
Yeah, for sure.
There's one on Gasoline Alley. I know that.
Yeah, I know there's one on
because Tesla
Gasoline
had to start building them so that people wouldn't say
Yeah.
this. But you just have to, in your Tesla, it'll like GPS will bring up where the charging stations are.
Oh my god.
So that you should, and it's just like, well,
That's sweet.
Yeah,
That's
plan
kinda
your
cool.
route. You know.
Yeah. Of course,
The
they
world
thought
will
of
be
that.
completely electric cars by 2025, without a doubt. Like,
yeah, but like that's the thing, right? Like what if like I bought a Tesla and then you were like, you know what, I'm gonna buy a Tesla too, and then we went on a road trip together, both in our Teslas, and then we had to go to Gasoline Alley and we both have to charge on the one charging station. What if there's like a lineup? We gotta move this thing along if we're gonna own Teslas. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you. Well, obviously, there's one solution: build more energy stations.
Build more stations. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say about Sweden is they were everywhere.
Oh, see,
Like
so if they can be everywhere in Sweden, they can be everywhere in Canada.
Everywhere. That's what I mean. It's like they were so far ahead, and this is in like 2016. It was just
You see
crazy.
everywhere. You see everywhere though. They adopt solar energy so much better than Canada. It's for some reason like we're like, Calgary, for example, has the most sunshine days of anywhere in Canada,
I know.
and there's no solar utilization here.
It makes me so sad.
Like, how often do you see solar panels?
Yeah.
If I could have, now that I'm saying it, I've looked at taking out a loan to put solar panels on the house, but it just wasn't worth it
It wasn't viable, right?
right now.
Yeah.
But it seems like if the government could subsidize it, I'm sold. Even 50%, no problem.
100%, right? Like if you could get it.
A few $1,000.
Yeah, if you could save
done.
any. Yeah.
Done.
And even like if you can start pushing power back into the grid, that's in my opinion best thing we could be doing right now.
Why isn't every new condo building required to have a solar energy roof? And if they could be energy positive, why are they not trying? Why are condo associations wasting their money when you could literally give free energy to the people living in the building and potentially even give rebates?
Yeah. It's a hard question to like truly answer though. Like
Collusion.
the why question, like really like we don't really know why.
Somebody's working against it.
I feel as though that might be true. I hate to just like go out there and be like, yes, people don't want solar energy.
Look at
to
Australia,
happen.
man. Australia, like, it seems like every third house has solar panels on it. People are very conscious about it. They're collecting their energy from that.
Yeah, it was the same in Sweden. There was just like, and in most parts of Europe that we even flew over, I was actually looking down from the plane and going, wow, look at all the solar panels, like in Belgium.
See?
Like that's nuts.
Wind energy is apparently super inefficient.
Yeah, I would say
You're an electrician by trade.
Yeah,
So you
I
can
am.
probably speak to this.
I would say in the right places, and Alberta is a really windy place. We have a good spot.
Dude,
for
you
wind
should sell
energy.
solar to fund your music career.
Oh man,
I think solar's the future.
solar is so great.
If
I
you-
just wish it would just kind of it would drop that whole problem we're having with it is like not getting it out there, not actually putting it, and not actually
Nobody's
utilizing
pushing it.
it.
No,
Yeah.
what it needs to happen is just the technology needs to progress to a point where it's cheap enough for everybody to have it.
Yeah, and it's cool that it's actually starting to happen.
Because
You know
people
what I mean?
care, because people see,
Yeah.
and other countries in the world are funding these operations clearly. Like, we might have solar. Have you seen the solar farms in China that they're shaping like Pokemon? They shaped one like Pikachu or something, and they got one like a panda.
No.
And these are massive solar farms.
I haven't seen this. This sounds really good.
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah, you like anime, but it's great, and as soon as people can figure out how to make like solar mats or tiles for a roof that are solar panels that are very easily networked through NFC and can transition that power, like the world is going to be super unstoppable.
Super unstoppable.
It's interesting because I was talking about it.
Let's just save our world. If you're listening, like let's just try.
Yeah, make
if you
solar
can,
thinner and
if
more
you
accessible.
Can, just try. Like, don't drive a huge truck.
Somebody's gonna desalinate water, and then water won't be an issue, right? Like it's like to me, like everyone's like, there's only 3% drinkable water on Earth, and I'm thinking to myself like, how is that not number one priority for Donald Trump to spend like $5.6 billion instead of a fucking wall on a desalinization project? Like, why are we not spending every dollar on figuring out how to turn salt water into clean drinking water? And even if it takes literal nuclear facilities like they build all over the world anyways, why aren't we doing it?
Like, I agree. There's again no real answer. Like I could not tell you. Like it's just like it's a point of confusion. I think for most people, we're just kind of like, but like, is it the money? Because like we know you guys have money. We know you guys are spending money, but like why not on this a little bit? Like
right?
Just even a little bit. Like not. It's just like no.
I don't think desalinization, like the funding that you actually need, because you don't have to do stuff on a huge scale to figure out if you've taken salt out of water, right? Like it's not like you have to like, you figure it out, then you build it to scale. Yeah. So I know I'm really interested to look if and what and how close people are to that idea, because man, that's a game changer. That changes the world.
Yeah, totally.
But then we start draining our oceans.
Fun.
That's okay. There's no way. Like if there's only 3% of available water on Earth, that's that's drinkable, and we're not crushing through it. Like ocean's fine.
Ocean's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, you guys.
It's gonna be delicious.
Don't worry about it.
You might be a little fishy, but don't worry about it.
It'll be fun. It'll be like Waterworld.
I've never seen that movie.
Really? It's terrible. Well, it's not terrible. It's debatably
debatably terrible?
good. Okay. No, it's debatably good. But it's an interesting watch. Give it a try.
They still have the setup at Universal Studios or whatever.
Really?
You can still go to the set of Waterworld.
Oh, that's sick.
Because I know what it is.
It's a cool world. That was a cool thing.
They filmed a few other movies there. I'm trying to think. The Edge of... what's that Jim Carrey movie where he's living inside the TV show, The Truman Show?
Oh, The Truman Show.
When he paddles out on the boat and he hits the wall.
Yeah.
It's in the Waterworld set.
Sick. That's wicked. I actually love that movie so much. That's one of those movies that I just kind of like looked at and I was like, it looks like another Jim Carrey movie, and I just kind of didn't watch it. But I love Jim Carrey. Don't get me wrong, but I just didn't watch it until like several years ago, and then I was like, "What? This movie is amazing."
Me too. I watched it on acid for my first time.
That's crazy. How was that? Did you have like a crisis? Did you?
No, it was beautiful.
Identify with the character.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like the technological world, the being trapped, being watched, just the ideas, becoming your own person, collusion. All of it was such a interesting, deep, thought-provoking movie. It was great.
It's one of those movies that if you watch it and you just kind of don't think about it, it's an okay movie. But if you really sit there and kind of like give it some thought and watch it, it's cool. It's a really cool movie. Like one of those things.
It's really sad. I cried pretty hard.
It is. It's like terrifying. Like that whole situation. Could you imagine being that man?
Totally. I was high on LSD.
Yeah.
I thought I was that man.
What man? Like this poor guy.
It's an incredible. Incredible film. I'm upset they took it off Netflix because I would definitely watch it again.
Just like binge watch it. Like watch it 6 times in a row.
I know, that's like, I'm thinking now, like, when's the last time I watched Harry Potter?
Yeah, gotta do the Harry Potter marathon every so often.
Like every 2 or 3 years. Did you grow up with Harry Potter? Did you read the books?
Yeah, I read the books. I only really read up to like the 4th book though.
And then you started watching the movies?
And then I don't know, I'm a real big sci-fi fan, and I kind of just like dove off.
My
into
parents
other
read
stuff.
them to me, so it's like, it was a lot. It was a
That's
thing. It was a
sweet.
kid thing.
It's like, yeah, it was a thing. You just kind of, the whole story.
People are
That's
gonna age me now. Well, you should be able to figure it out. There's been enough. You should be able to figure out how old I am.
Make a
Anyways.
guess in the comments.
Yeah, make a guess in the comments. Whoever gets it first wins a bottle of hot sauce. here in
Yeah,
Canada.
that hot sauce was so good. Oh my goodness. So if you've been following Andy's Instagram, he's got some serious hot sauce on
The
the go.
Serrano Sour Diesel Scotch Bonnet, the Triple S.
My goodness. That was great. I was actually so impressed with that.
I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna have the recipe up on my YouTube channel. Something I didn't tell anybody, but I cut myself when I was doing the video, so I kind of don't want to put it up. But it's also kind of funny because I think it's authentic. When people see me mess up,
Oh God, no.
I dropped the blender blade and tried to catch it by accident.
Nice.
But then it's funny because I read the top of the blender after. Well, Sarah actually read it, and she's like, if you just read the top of it, it says, "Do not pour this while the blender is in. Just open it right here." And all I had to do to avoid the injury on the Ninja, I got injured on the Ninja.
Oh no.
Was just to open this one little flap. I should work smarter, not harder. Anyways, made some great hot sauce though. No blood is in the hot sauce.
No blood made it into the hot sauce.
But there was hot sauce in my blood, and that hurt so bad.
Oh my God, it's like, when you have a little cut on your hand and you like cut a lime or something and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, except 10 times worse because I had just sliced it pretty good, like almost right in between my fingers, and it had habanero hot sauce in it.
Oh man. See, that's like, habanero's a little painful. Like it's just a little bit of pain.
Just
It's good pain, but it's a little bit of pain.
It's pain. Full. Oh my God. Have
Yeah,
you ever
I can-
got to play on CJSW? I think the last time I saw you were playing on CJSW.
Yeah, I've actually, yeah, I have time to plug my thing, I guess. I on the 30th, I play on 90.9 FM in Calgary, CJSW. It's the local community radio station, like university. It's awesome. I'm playing with a buddy of mine, Jonathan Crane, who's the other half of Shark Tank, who I didn't really get to talk about earlier, but yeah, we're playing with our friend Cord Lust. You can check him out. He's a techno and other genres. I'm pretty sure he's producing other genres than techno, but you can check us out. We're live. I think it's 12 a.m. to 2 on the 30th.
Late night on
Late
college
night.
radio.
Yeah, or you can check out the
90.9 on your dial in Calgary, Alberta.
There's another podcast actually as well after we finish the show. It goes up as a podcast, so you can go to cjsw.com and then click shows, look up modulations, and you can find us there. It'll be under Power Shark and Jonathan Crane.
Modulations, Power Shark, Jonathan Crane. I'm sure you could put that into Google.
Yeah, that might even work.
I'd hope so. CJSW, Modulations, Power Shark, Jonathan Crane. Click, download, rinse, repeat.
Listen.
If it
to
sounds
2 hours
nice,
of music.
Play it twice. Ratata, ratata, ratata. You got a favorite artist right now?
Oh, I've been really feeling Herbie Hancock, which is kind of a weird kind
It's not
of
weird.
favorite artist. And
It's
I
cool,
go
dude.
through phases of favorite artists, and I love certain things, but I just keep defaulting to Herbie Hancock, and for some reason, technical death metal.
Yeah, okay.
It's just like a lot of
you connect
jazz. It's a lot of jazz and a lot of like really technical death metal. And then, of course, like my standard house and techno music, but I don't really have a favorite house and techno artist at the moment.
I never listen to house and techno music now.
It's
Since I left the DJ game, it's like probably the last thing I want to listen to.
Yeah, fair enough. If you're not completely absorbed in it, it's one of those things that's not as accessible as maybe it should be. But
It's great to dance to.
oh, it's wonderful to dance to. It's a, that's the whole point of it. In general,
I wish I had gone and danced to the
Dance
Chicago
music.
House Club.
That would've
when
been
I was
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, you should check that out.
I went to like a frat bar one night. It was pretty funny.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, so I had like this hilarious tourist experience. It was great. I had a great meeting early in the morning, had a beer, and then I kind of went and tied one on. I was on vacation. It was like my one day ahead in Chicago. I got everything done. Well, actually, I didn't get everything done, but I just kind of got lit. Anyways, I went to this like tourist bar and whipped a ice shot at a Bell, and then we went out later with my buddy Javi, and we went to this bar, and it was like this awesome ultimate, like, it was funny because Javi's like a Mexican dude, like a big Mexican dude, and he takes me to like the whitest white guy frat bar I've ever been to. I was like, I don't even remember what I was dressed in. I was dressed pretty nice because I had a meeting earlier that day.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like, I feel like I was like, I've never felt so comfortable somewhere else. I was like, this is the last place in Chicago you're gonna get stabbed or shot.
Like, what are we talking? Like some kind of like Boston pizza kind of deal?
No, it was heat. It was called the Slippery Slope. It was an awesome bar. Like,
Yeah?
it was packed to the rim.
Crazy.
It was just like, if you had let Mount Royal University out,
Yeah. And just let him
put
go.
him in a bar in downtown Chicago, there it was. I was like, holy.
Holy moly.
Whole time I had been around like a lot of great brown people, and which was awesome. But then I ended up, and then I was, and then Javi took me to like, I honestly felt like it was the whitest spot in Chicago. That's how I felt. I was like, these people are crackers. Like I felt like I had a hood pass on everybody there.
And you're like the Canadian guy.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like the Jufrode Canadian standing around in a suit.
Just like, what is happening in here?
It was pretty. It was funny. It was fun to watch, for sure. And then I had some of the best tacos of my life outside at this street taco.
See,
Taco
that's
Madre.
why. That's why.
Yeah, those were crazy good.
It's the tacos. That's why.
They were great price. It was like the only thing I ate in Chicago was street tacos.
Tight.
I know.
That sounds like a great vacation. Just like go on vacation, eat nothing but tacos. I legitimately think that sounds great.
It's a working vacation. But when me and Sarah went to Mexico when we got engaged, we went to like this gourmet inclusive resort.
Yeah.
It was so awesome because they had, I only went to the breakfast buffet a few times, but they straight up had like fresh tacos, fresh made tortilla, in the breakfast buffet. They'd be pumping them out. Well, after living with two Mexican guys, I realized that basically everything's a taco because you eat tortilla with everything. I made spaghetti one night, and they were eating the spaghetti with the tortilla.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah, making spaghetti tacos.
I'm doing that.
I'm
doing that.
It was pretty legit. I'm going to tell you the story about the tortilla lady. This blows my mind. I'm just going to go off path because I have no idea what I'm talking about anyways.
Yeah.
So this tortilla lady would show up to the vineyard, and at first, like when I first got there was like a fat bag of tortillas, like huge, because they eat tortillas with everything. My roommates Ishmael and Candido, I'm not saying this is a general, but like it is pretty generalized, it seems. It's it's your bread. Anyways, so this tortilla lady like came, and they would always like buy tortillas, and then like she kept coming every 2 weeks, but then the tortillas like kind of started stacking up.
Yeah.
But they would always buy more. And then it was like really weird, like the winemaker took dude to the airport to go back to Mexico, and he was like, oh, I forgot. In Spanish, like panicked. He's like, I forgot this $700. You got to give it to the tortilla lady. And so the winemaker tells me this. I'm like, yeah, there's so many tortillas in the house. I'm like, why is the tortilla lady like taking all of the money? It's like, who is the tortilla lady?
Who is the tortilla lady?
Right? The mysterious tortilla lady. So you can only imagine all the conspiracies I have about the tortilla lady. In the end, the winemaker's like, no, you got to go back to Mexico with your $700 in your pocket. He was panicked about it. That was interesting. I love Mexican people so much. I think I talk about this. I think I talk about authenticity and how much I love Mexican people in every single podcast episode.
That's tight.
Hey,
see, everyone loves everyone, man.
I want to move to Mexico or get a house there. I don't know if I'd ever move there, but I think weed's going to become legal real quick. Cannabis, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Weed. But yeah. Mexico's going to legalize cannabis, and it's going to become a booming thing. Like, Jamaica's people are going to stop going like, as cannabis becomes legalized all over, it'll be so interesting to see how things change. Like, I bet Amsterdam's taking a huge hit right now on their actual tourism dollars.
Oh, I can only imagine. I like you were saying, I think in the first podcast again, like Canada's almost better for weed tourism.
Oh yeah, did I say that? It's tourism. Great here.
I think you said that. Or someone said that. I think it's Canada's almost better than the States for weed tourism, or even Amsterdam right now. It's cheaper.
The States is crazy. California has so much progressive laws, and it's kind of like the Wild West out there. Cannabis tourism out there seems like so amazing. Just I don't know if anybody really wants the level that I imagine in my head. I don't know if the consumer crossover is there. I can understand doing it for executive parties and kind of one-off things like I do, pop-up events, but I don't know if it would work all the time just yet. 60 years from now, cannabis will be so normalized. I talk to people about this all the time. I got grilled for a podcast. I'll plug her. You're on with Ashley Goring. There you go. Check it out, Ashley. And I was asking her, like, I completely forget where I was going, but I think it's the appropriate age for kids to be able to consume cannabis.
Yeah.
Oh, it was about her kids will never be able to grow up in a world without legalized cannabis.
Yeah.
Like, they're 2 and 3 years old. They're never going to remember that cannabis was illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
Normalization to them is so different than to us or our parents. It's like it's not going anywhere for them. It's what they're going to grow up with. It's going to be hand in hand with alcohol, and it's going to be duty sealed cannabis, which absolutely blows my mind. I had a fake ID when I was in high school. No, I'm good. And I'd buy alcohol, I'd buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Same. People can just go buy cannabis now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like, that's one thing that I've kind of been noticing is, like, do kids even care about smoking cannabis right now?
I don't think so. I think they'd rather smoke a vape. It's kind of not
cool. I don't think it's as cool. Like, they like Juul.
Mission complete,
they
right?
Like those Juul things, man.
I think this is what the government wanted, though, right?
I don't know. Like, hopefully
if you make weed not cool, then nobody's going to want to do it. Like, smoking's not cool anymore. How few kids smoke, right? Like, I feel like I was the tail end of this last desperate small generation that was, like, smoking, and now it's like, at least in my social circles and everywhere I go, I do not see people smoking. I do not see the amount of people smoking that I used to.
Yeah.
Like, it's not cool. And I think that stigma goes towards cannabis consumption, which is totally fair to deter kids and to deter anybody. In Colorado, 40% of the market's edibles. So, people want to eat edibles. People don't want to smoke.
Yeah, that's fair enough. It's I don't know. I guess there's, like, a couple things that go along with smoking. Like, you smell if you smoke the right thing. Like, if you're smoking a cigarette, like, it's not necessarily a pleasant smell to a non-smoker.
We went outside to smoke, so.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we went outside, and I think that's the best way if you're gonna do it. Like, I do like smoking joints, and I do like smoking.
I like it a lot more in the summer.
Yeah, it's more my favorite kind of summer jam.
Right, like, it's not very enjoyable, except for when I'm snowboarding. I do like smoking a joint when I'm snowboarding. You just sit down in the middle of the trees,
Yeah, just sit down, find a nice spot.
If you're listening to me, I don't know if you're about this, but if you sit down in the trees randomly to smoke a joint, make sure you have your back against a tree so that somebody can't run into you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because this is a super real thing. Like, people dip in the trees, and some people aren't as good as you are, and they'll start following your track because they're nervous, and they might run straight into you. I've been, like, super close to being dusted.
Yeah.
And so I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, especially, you know, I always see people sitting underneath, like, little ledges, like, almost like little jumps. Like, people sit, like, right underneath a jump.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm
dicey.
just like, why would you do that? Like, I'm like a fast snowboarder. Like, that's my favorite thing to do is just fly down as fast as I can.
Out for a rip, are you, bud?
Yeah, out for a rip. Like, I love snowboarding, but I'm definitely not the type to just go off a huge jump. But I'll like go off these little like lips and stuff, just tiny little things, and there'll be like people just sitting there. And I'm just like, whoa. And you just kind of have to like panic and bail and just kind of get out of their way. And it kind of...
I've tapped a lot of kids' helmets, like jumping over them.
Yeah. It's just, it's tough. It's, I don't know. It's hard to train people to sit in the right spot and think about all those things at once.
So what do you think about policing the mountain? Because like that was a big conversation over the years, is policing the mountain to find people consuming cannabis. Is it a danger
really?
to other people on the mountain? Is it as dangerous as the booze that they serve? Should they give people the opportunity to have a place to safely consume cannabis so that people aren't being hunted on the mountain?
You know, I've never really even heard of policing cannabis on a ski
Lake Louise,
resort.
they had
Really?
like uniformed cops on fucking skis. Like,
wow.
looking for people smoking weed before legalization.
That is insane. I had no idea that they
thought
did
it was
stuff like that.
hilarious. All I could think to myself was like, let that cop try and catch me.
Catch someone.
Yeah, like,
well, but that's the thing
come
is
get me.
they must be pretty skilled. Like, that's the thing is, why would they send them out there if they weren't gonna actually, you know, catch someone?
How skilled can you be? Like, you know, like I competed at snowboarding. Like, I'm an expert
Yeah.
snowboarder.
Yeah.
I have no fear. I'll jump off anything. I'll go down the fastest thing straight at it. Like, how bad do you want to catch me, copper?
Yeah, exactly.
And do they have a gun on their hip? Because that's even funnier.
No doubt. Like, you shouldn't. Okay, if
Snowboarding
you're a police officer and you have a gun on your hip, okay, let's just all take a long second and think about what happens if you fall. I know that most Canadian police carry Glocks, and those things don't have like safety or anything. They've just got like a
Amazing. Get some snow in it.
trigger safety. Yeah, you just get some snow in there and your gun starts going off. Man, it's just irresponsible. Just
Yeah, I don't think they're snowboarding with guns. They just got
I
a
really
billy club
hope-
and a taser.
I just really hope that they're not doing that. I just would think.
You would hope they'd ride unarmed, right?
Yeah, I would really hope they'd ride unarmed. I'd really hope that, like,
It's kind of a scary thought to think that anybody would even be riding around a mountain with handcuffs looking to catch you having a beer in the forest.
But that's what I mean. Is it's like I almost feel like the mountain is this like sacred place. Like you go out there and you can just kind of do whatever you want. Like once you're up on the mountain, then you're free. Like there's a freedom to that.
That's why they're
like,
sending the police out there.
yeah. There's a freedom up there that they
like,
want to
"There's
take,
freedom,
man.
bro."
They want to take it, and I don't know why. That's so sad.
Motherfucking police state. We're
police
stuck here.
state bothering me while I'm snowboarding. Well, like, you know, I could see them standing at like the top of like a chairlift. Or like, you know, a chairlift I don't even care about. Chairlift, you're out in the open. Doesn't matter.
If you smoke a joint on a chairlift, you're like an amateur. Amateur hour.
Well, that's amateur, but it's not even that big of a deal. Like I wouldn't even give someone that much crap for doing that. But if you did it in a gondola, that's another story.
I smoke weed in the Ganjola every time.
Oh, you bad boy!
I've never gone to Sunshine and not Ganjola'd.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I feel like that's where they would catch the most people. You just like get out of there and you're like
The guy doesn't even care.
Boom.
The guy doesn't even care. That's
like
the thing.
most of them are just like, you know, young guys. Like
Well,
young,
you just
young
drop
guys
all
and gals.
You drop all the windows,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you walk away, and it's like is it worth that guy's time
is it
to
worth
be
his
like?
time? No, he doesn't.
If it was like a Cheech and Chong hot box that opened up, I'm sure they'd be like,
that would be
"Oh."
hilarious. That's what I want to see happen, though. That's like.
I'm sure the
That's
vapors
funny.
do it all the time now, though,
I'm
right?
sure.
So it's probably even easier to get away with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I always ganjola every single time. I remember
I love how you have a name for it. Is this a thing that I just don't know about?
Yeah, totally.
Ganjola?
The ganjola.
The ganjola?
Yeah, you can't do the gondola without doing the ganjola. One time I was riding up the ganjola like late night. They kept it open for me. I had like called late. I was staying up at the resort at Sunshine, and I went up by myself, and that was the scariest experience because it was pitch black by myself in the ganjola, and I'm like,
And you're just like,
well, I can't not go up and not smoke weed. So I packed my bong,
yeah.
and I was in the ganjola by myself, and it stopped, and I'm in pitch black, like
Amazing.
swinging. And if you've never been in a gondola before, like I'm like 80 or 90 feet off the ground, in the mountains, in the air. Like this is not a comfortable
Sketch.
situation. Yeah, it stopped, so
Sketch.
now it's bouncing, and I'm like, oh my sweet Jesus.
You're like, oh, please.
No cell phone reception there too. There might be. I don't know. Anyways, it started up like a minute later, and that was a long minute. I was
Yeah,
like, at
in the
least I've
dark?
got a pillow, and I've got my snowboard gear. I had my jacket, my snow pants, and everything, and I've got a bong. I was like, I can make it through the night.
Oh, man. I would have lost it. I would have been so scared for like that entire minute. I would have been losing my mind. I would have been like, yeah, okay, all right, I'm going to die in the cold, in this gondola. They stopped it.
That's how I feel about my problems with the Google Play Store and Google Play Music right now.
Music.
I apologize for the technical difficulties getting updated episodes if that's still happening.
I don't know. I haven't checked in a while, but we checked earlier, and for some reason, episode 2 is up on iTunes,
Yeah.
but not on Google Play and Spotify.
This is recorded pretty early. I don't think it's going to be out for a week, so I better have that problem fixed, or I've been not diligent in what I do.
Well, you know, I
hustle.
Yeah, you do hustle. You kill it.
I'm not going to mess it up. Yeah, I hope I can, patience, pick an idea, stick to it, be consistent, be accountable. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You want to make music? Put out a track every day, every week, even every month.
Just set a goal.
Just
stick to it.
Well, and show people. People want to see you on your social feed, whatever, becoming somebody. People love to see you fail.
True.
It's so easy to watch people succeed and think that an overnight success is there. It's like, oh, this guy just started making music and now he's here. It's like, no, I think everybody works a job that they don't like and does something that they do like at home until it becomes a job, or it's forever a hobby and they keep that job that they don't like.
Yeah, 100%.
How many people work jobs that they don't like?
Like, literally, so many people.
Right? And there's a job for everybody.
Yeah.
I think it's cool that entrepreneurship's cool. I think it's cool that technology's cool. I think it's cool that cannabis is cool.
I think it's cool that, like, anything kind of do-it-yourself is really cool right now.
Yeah, DIY.
That's, like, my favorite thing. DIY. Like, just kind of... You have so many tools at your fingertips. It's amazing.
What do you DIY?
What do I do it myself?
Yeah.
Well, like, obviously the streaming thing. I've been really getting into, like, okay, this is maybe not like a super DIY thing, but, like, I'm teaching myself cooking. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just kind of teaching myself how to cook, and like really kind of got into barbecuing and just taking care of,
Any recipes that you like lately? Any like standouts?
I've been doing a rib recipe
Okay.
that I just love.
Tell us about your ribs. Are they a dry rub? Are they a wet? Are they a wet sauce? What's up?
So I do a dry rub first,
Yeah.
and then
What's in your dry rub?
my dry rub has like paprika
Yeah.
and
Classic.
lots of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It's like kind of my rule. And then that's like a rule that I've discovered, especially if you're doing any kind of meat.
People are scared of salt for some reason.
and pepper.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Those two spices, you can literally just put salt and pepper on a steak,
Mm-hmm.
sit it
it's
there
delicious.
for like 2 hours, throw it on the barbecue, for a little while.
Get some olive oil in there too.
Yeah, you could throw some olive oil. You could throw any kind of olive oil in there. I actually have like a bunch of sick flavored olive oil at home right now.
Don't use flavored. Just use like a good cold press.
Why not? Okay, I guess that's true. You would know.
Salt and pepper.
You would know.
That's my jam.
Yeah, salt and pepper is tight.
I was so scared of pepper my whole life.
Oh,
I don't know why. I don't know. I thought that like small doses or whatever. I just didn't think I liked it. And then when I started cooking, it's a crazy lesson that you learn. It's like, you need a decent amount.
Yeah, and like
even in my hot sauce, I put pepper in.
Even decent quality. Like if you can find one of those like really nice kind of pepper blends, you can just improve a dish.
Yeah, you need that fresh cracked
to another level. Yeah, fresh cracked. If you got a grinder yourself, grind it.
The ribs. Hey, that's good. You got any salads or anything you like? You doing any pastas?
I haven't really been doing salads. That might be my next.
You got a girlfriend?
No, I'm single right now.
Next date, ladies. He's single. Next date, he's taking you to a cooking class.
Yeah, I'll actually cook for you.
He'll cook for you. He'll take you to a cooking class.
Okay.
At his house.
Hey.
Ooh.
Oh.
Smooth Fonzie hands.
Hey, we're doing Fonzie hands up in here.
Anthony Fonzarelli. I've never seen Happy Days. I just know the guy's name and I know the show he's from.
No doubt. I'm on the same page.
But I got the cultural reference.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great cultural reference.
I appreciate that.
We're killing it.
I appreciate that. Okay, well, I think on the Fonzie note, we should
hey, on out of here.
Hey, yeah. I think you should leave with some parting words. What do you want to tell everybody, and maybe plug yourself one last time?
Yeah. If you see me on a poster anywhere, Power Shark. If you're in the Calgary area and you walk, down a street and you see a poster and you say, "Oh, cool, Power Shark." Just come check me out. I'll be DJing, and if you want to follow me on SoundCloud, it's SoundCloud Power Shark, and then stay tuned if you're into that sort of thing on my Instagram, shark_master_lurker, sharkmasterlurker, and I'll be posting up my new Twitch link there. So make sure you give it a follow when it comes up, and we'll be streaming lots of cool music right to your living room.
That's rad, and let's get this man a international show. Anybody listening that wants to book him, he'll come with me for free, and we'll just get him a show wherever we're gonna be.
Cannabis sommelier, back-to-back Power Shark. Yeah,
exactly, because we can do it big. That'll be sweet. That's another thing. If you're listening, I'm a DJ. I'm playing my first show. You know what? Before we bail, I'm playing a show on February 22nd.
On February 22nd?
Yeah, at Trolley 5 Brewery in Calgary.
Amazing.
For the Turntable Festival. They released a turntable lager, and they're doing Turntable Festival.
Oh, wow.
And I've never played an all vinyl set, and I'm going to be playing all vinyl. I'm going to be bringing a crate in and
that's sick, man.
Jamming out. So yeah, I'm stoked you were here. Thank you so much for chatting with me, sharing your stories. Much respect. I really appreciate your hustle and everything, and can't wait to see what you do in music.
Thanks, bro. You too, man.
Cheers. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Bye.